Excuse me. Okay, got that done. So then I share, and we are there. Okay, so I think at least I'm done venting about my dad. So what we're going to do to welcome everybody to where after tonight we'll be 2/3 of the way done. What we're going to do tonight is a little different. I'm going to turn it over here in a few minutes to um, to Laura and Latanya, and they are going to take you through, and they're going to, oh, wow, they are going to take you through, and they're going to get you to where they're going to cover everything tonight. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. They are wonderful. I can tell you, I was bragging on them before you all got here. They are fantastic in terms of how they communicate, how they deliver the training. I have all the confidence in the world. So we'll get started. We want to ask a few questions first. So log into Menti, and then just to get things rolling, what's one word that describes how you're feeling tonight? In my case, it might be frustrated at my dad. In Laura's case, it might be frustrated with her dad.
Yes, I could say that.
In my case, it may just be oh, frustrated with the person cutting the grass outside, who happens to be my husband, and it's right outside my window.
What a lucky man.
Depends on the day you ask him. Let's answer
Okay, is
to
anybody
that.
getting in?
Chris, I sent you an email earlier talking about my frustration with not being able to log in and the passwords and then getting in and not knowing where I'm supposed to go after that.
Okay.
And then I contacted some other people who were having some of the same issues that I'm having, and I was contacting them to get help to walk me through. And I found out that other people were having some of the same issues, and I can understand not wanting to appear to be ignorant in this class. However, if you have no AI skills, as I am lacking, and what I found is that there are other people in this class who are at the same place that I am, where we've just been playing around with AI by accident and have no real understanding of what we're doing. And it becomes frustrating when you can't get to the homework. You can't, then when you find the information, like let's take, for example, the first question. I found the information to answer the first question, and then after I found the information, I couldn't get back to where I needed to go to put the answer in. And so it is very, very frustrating. I explained that I travel a lot when the first night, and now that I am back to a stable place where I'm not traveling and I have time to go through this whole thing, walk myself through it, maybe get some assistance with it, do all the assignments, go over all the information. The way that the site is set up, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay. So let me start off by saying thank you, right? We need you. We're doing this virtually. It's really hard for us to communicate virtually and to know where you're at. So if you're, first of all, Beverly, do you have an invitation to your calendar from me for 2 to 3 o'clock every day? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
If I do have it, I haven't seen it or don't know that that particular email is from you.
Okay, fair enough. So every day from 2 to 3 o'clock your time, if you're on Central Time, I have what's called office hours, and I sent out an invite to, I thought, all of you, so that you could come in, you can show up, ask your questions. If you need help from me on a one-on-one basis, we can set up time, and I'm more than willing to do that. Because I understand you're all coming in from different spots, you have different experiences, different levels of experience, and life gets in the way too. So I'm more than willing to do that to help you get caught up.
Chris, I signed up for office hours and it canceled me.
It canceled you.
It canceled me. I've been canceled on a couple of things that I've tried to get into. I am having problems with jumping back and forth, just like we all are. It's like there's not one central location to go to get the homework. You have to know where the homework is, then you have to know how to get back into InnoPower. It's a lot of clicking. I thought it was going to be simplified. And then I also, I was told I had 3 more attempts before they were gonna lock me out. I was just like, really? I'm to get my password, to reestablish it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know, there's some glitches that may need to be
Yep.
addressed.
Well, I appreciate that. I am taking notes, and I will fix those almost ASAP, because it's very important that we get those. So when you're getting the 3 passwords, that was probably on Become Prompt Engineering, right?
I was trying to get into the homework.
Yep. Okay.
And
That's prompt engineering.
it said that my password was invalid or something,
Okay.
but after 2 or 3 times, they said, I have 3 more attempts and I will be locked out.
Okay.
So I didn't attempt it anymore.
Hello, this is
Okay.
Takia. This is Takia Span. I've been going through the same thing as far as the engineering, that part. I haven't even saw any of the videos yet because they said that my password is invalid. And then I tried to attempt to change the password and it still did not work. So I haven't been able to get in that site at all.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Anybody else having problems?
So, hi, Chris. This is Jackie Hopkins. We spoke briefly on yesterday, but after our session was over and you asked me to stay over, I was kicked out. And when I logged back in, I was told everything was ended. And then on today, when I tried to access in Otter, when I was trying to access the notes or videos, it was told, I was given a message that I was not a participant. Even tonight, I haven't been able to log in. I just happened to be with Miss Ship Glenn, who is sharing her screen with me even as we speak. I'm still working on my end, on my laptop, trying to get everything in, but it's telling me that I cannot participate.
Okay. Okay. I will, once we get, yeah. Okay. I will send you the invitation.
I got one from Laura, but even when I logged in, I'm just getting notes, but I get 2 black screens that tell me that I can't participate. I got an invitation from Laura Offit, OFF.
Was that from Otter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's your reader. That's your
Oh,
reader.
yeah, okay. And then I think I stopped that today, and I thought I stopped it yesterday, which I don't know
No, I
why
got
it's
an
not
invitation from you,
Mhm.
2 invitations
Really?
from you today to join.
Mhm.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Hopkins, Jacqueline. Yes.
Hi, this is
Okay.
Melissa. I just was wondering, is there another video that you're showing us? Is the same ones that you attach to your conversation when you say you just give us a recap? Is there some more videos? Because those are the videos I've been able to get on when you send it with the homework, and then you, I guess it comes with the link. Is there some other ones that I'm missing?
No.
Okay. And then logging in, I agree with everyone with that. I just go back to the very first one that you sent out, and I've been able to get on with the very first email to join the Zoom call. But my question is, tonight's homework, basically what I did was I went on there, found the person, my famous person, and all I did was copy and paste what the AI was telling me that to answer the questions. Is that correct, or was we supposed to write our own little summary on that person?
You could copy and paste it, or you could summarize it. Either one. I was not, and they'll tell you that. Latanya will tell you that, and Laura will tell you that. I'm really looking for you to use it, and less about, I'm not particular about if you write your own quick little comments or you copy and paste it. Either one works for me.
Okay, I think
I'm-
one thing is frustrating when you working with someone that is not, I would say computer savvy or whatever. I don't know if I missed it or not, but did you go through each of the prompts to say this is where you navigate, or this is a part of the learning tool to say this is how you do it? If you come up with some issues, then now we can help you address it, whether you in the class or outside of the class.
I'm not sure if there was a question in there. Try me again.
Yeah, so my question was, in the beginning, did you go over each of the prompts, the what do you call, the tabs that we supposed to navigate through? Because you do have to look through that stuff, to tell you the truth. But if you don't have the, you know what I'm saying, if you're not computer savvy or you don't know, did you show us, did you do that? Did you go over that process before you say, okay, this is where it's at? Were you pretty much looking for it on your own? So did you go through each of the tabs to say this is where you find this and that, or that was just up to us to take our times and take our time and find it?
I did go through it,
Okay.
but the fact that everybody's having a problem means that I probably wasn't effective. Just call myself out, right? I mean, I did go through it and I showed everybody, but if you don't, if you didn't pick it up, or you're, you know, or you didn't go in right then and do it, and maybe you forgot, I could understand how it could be confusing. So there are a couple things I can do. First of all, I'll look at, one of the things I can do is I can put AI chat windows right below the homework so that you can go in directly to that. And when you go into the homework, you can go right there and do that. So I can do that. That's not too awful difficult to do. And that will
I'm
help.
having
That'll help.
difficulty even getting to the homework. I don't even know how to go about getting to the homework. I accidentally hit something and got to it one time, and then went to get the information to answer the question and couldn't get back.
Fair enough. All right. So one of the things,
So
so what
I
I'll
will
do,
schedule office hours with you.
I'm sorry.
Schedule office hours with you so that maybe I need to work with you one-on-one so that I have a better understanding of what we're doing. And I'm the Michigan City contact person, and I am hearing from different people that the frustration is to the point where they're thinking about just dropping out, and I don't want that to happen because the people who I communicated with to get them to do the class are in key point positions here in Michigan City. And I know that them completing this class and feeling comfortable with it is critical to us moving forward as far as Power in Michigan City.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, again, I can take you through it again, and I'll make sure that you can get in. I will go through and include in the homework, I'll go ahead and include the prompt window so you don't have to click around. And I will see, I hadn't thought about it, but I will see if when I provide the links in the email, if I can provide the actual link to the homework, to the page where the thing is, the video, and where the summary is. Maybe that will help. If you're challenged with how to use from a you're not using your term a computer savvy. If you're not computer savvy, again, I can do office hours. I'm doing office hours. I've been on it last 3 days and hadn't seen anybody show up. So if somebody who could check and see if they did get that invitation, that would be great. Just to make sure you got it.
Because I know some people got canceled. They set up office hours and then the office hours got canceled.
It got
So I'm not
canceled
sure what
one
that's
day.
about either.
Just the
It got
one day.
canceled. Yeah, it was one day. It wasn't the entire. I had to cancel it on Tuesday.
Right.
But it
I
is.
sent an email to you to say that I like to do a one-on-one. I don't think you got it. I think it was yesterday, last night.
Yeah, I've been heads down on getting our reports done that we've got to do for our reporting.
Oh,
So
no
I didn't
problem.
check email. But was that Melissa?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, I will include, what I'll do is when I send out here, I'll just throw it in here. Okay. Okay. So in the chat, I put in my calendar scheduling website. You can go to that. You can pick a time and we can talk. You can set up a half hour or an hour. And I can help you through any challenges you got in terms of again, whether it's a challenge with, just how to get around, whether it's a challenge, you got questions, or how do you apply it, or you got questions on the homework. More than willing to do that. More than willing to do that. And if you're thinking of dropping, we've only got a week, right? So, we got 2 more sessions, and I would really like for you to try to stick it out, and let's try to work this out and get it, because this training is important. This AI stuff is important for you as you go forward. Whether you believe it is right now or not, it will be. And so I'm willing to do just about anything to help you get through that. I mean, shoot, I could even come up to Gary and do a session if we wanted to. If somebody had a spot where I could sit and people could come and ask questions or dial in. I'm vested in trying to help get this through. So, and help get you through this course. So, does anybody else have any other suggestions, things I can do?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
No,
I had my sound off before. I wasn't sure if it was on or off. I'm sorry. Can I ask a quick question? This is just for my own myself.
yes,
The
ma'am.
homework assignment where we had to download the book title and the other it was a book title or something else. I downloaded it,
Outline.
but yeah, I wanted to like do it over because it didn't come through the way that I wanted to. Is that a possibility? Or what I did was I sent you a follow up. I sent it like a email. I said, "Oh, forget that one," but I couldn't figure out how to like get a do over and send it as homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I had
yeah.
already filled it in. I needed a do over.
Just email it to me.
That's what I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just email it to me.
Okay.
Again, I'm just trying to. I'm not a stickler on, and I'm not a literary critic, right? I couldn't. I'm a C. When I went to Ball State, I got a C minus in English. Barely got by. That's got me out of school. So I'm not gonna be the literary critic that's going to be able to give you the best advice. What I'm trying to do is just kind of help you through this process, and through the process of writing a book or doing your project, you're going to you're getting the exposure you need to do to learn how to use AI. That's really what I'm trying to do. So, okay. Anything else anybody wants to say? Well, I'll say one more thing, and that is thank you for this. Feedback is a gift. And if you sit and if I sit and try and rationalize it and explain to you why all this is happening, and then don't do anything with it, then it's a waste of time. And I believe that I would rather know you got a problem and try to help you, or if you got a problem and I'm the problem, get somebody else in here, so that you can get the most out of this class. I don't take it personally. I've been doing this too long to take things personally. So don't hesitate to give us feedback. And Beverly, I want to thank you again for having the courage to speak up first, right? You opened so to speak, opened the floodgates, and there were a number of things that came through, and that's fantastic. I really appreciate that. So with that, I'm not going to ask you any more questions. We're going to skip right through this stuff. And I'm going to turn it over to Latanya and Laura, and they're going to go ahead and take you through it.
Good evening, everyone. If
Good
I
evening.
start to go too fast,
Good
or
evening.
I know you guys are feeling a little overwhelmed, and I can appreciate that. So, but Chris is really, he will get back to you. And um, I've gone through the master trainer course, and it was a lot longer. The thing that I would encourage you to do though is stick it out, because it is going to all come together for you, and you're going to find a lot of value in doing that, in doing the learning the prompting, because that's going to make the next things that you try to do with AI much, much easier. Okay. And Chris, now I'll expect my check. No, I'm just joking. He's not paying me for that.
It's
So
in
let's
the
go.
mail.
So let's talk a little bit about, well, first, for those of you who did your homework and who were able to access it, were there any other obstacles or things that you found super challenging, or things that you wanted to share a little bit more?
I found I was trying to do a coloring book.
Uh-huh.
It was not giving me like just outline drawings so you could color it in. It would give me colored pages of what I'm
Okay.
describing. So I know I need to address my prompt a little better. But
Uh-huh.
I did notice I tried one thing where I tried a black and white sketch,
Uh-huh.
and I was trying to sketch two puppies,
Okay.
and the system kept misspelling the word, so it gave me puppies I didn't expect. But
Oh.
I ended up, and I was just using the black culture prompt or
Oh,
whatever.
Chat GPT, Black Chat GPT.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, let me try it in Image Maker. And that just, I don't know. I just got outside the box and said, let me try Image Maker. And it gave me exactly what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It spelled the dogs, the names the right way. So I got the right puppies back.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, that's where I was just kind of feeling, let's try a different
Mm-hmm.
agent, or what's the word I should be using, but a different engine.
Yeah.
And it gave me exactly what I wanted. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just have to switch up. I found you just have to switch up which product you use, I guess.
And you are absolutely correct. There are certain platforms that work better for certain things. So we do a lot in Chat GPT just because it has a lot of features and functionalities that some of the other ones may not have. However, some of the other ones have ones that are they're better equipped to deal with certain things like graphics and things of that nature.
Mhm.
So that was great, and I hope that you found that to be a valuable exercise in learning because you were able to transfer your skills. So what you learned using Chat GPT for the most part, you were able to take that same prompting concept and transfer it over to another platform.
Okay,
And
platform.
so,
Word.
yeah, so that, yeah, it's GPT or LM, large language model, whichever one you want to call it. I just call it um, platforms just because so many of them.
Yeah.
But so being able to transfer that is really something that is great, and that's ultimately what we hope that you would get out of this is that you can take this and it's not exclusive to just one LLM. It's open to all of them. So sounds like you had an opportunity to stretch yourself a little bit
Mhm.
and you
Yeah.
were successful. And I encourage you to continue doing that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing that, Sharon. Anything else before I go ahead and start talking about priming and shotting and the importance of the
Can you
context?
get a little closer to your microphone,
Oh,
Latanya?
yes. I'm sorry you can't hear me. Sometimes my microphone is a little crazy. Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it gets a little
Yes, that's much
yeah,
better.
okay, great. It gets a little crazy sometimes, but when we're talking about priming in AI and shotting in AI, it's not taking tequila shots. We were talking about tequila earlier. I don't know if any of you were on this on the call, but so when you're talking about natural language models or large language models, priming refers to the process of setting up or shaping that model. So you're providing context for and instructions or examples of what it is that you're going to need or you're hoping to obtain as your output. So you're putting all that information in prior to asking the main question. So just like if you're making a cake or something of that nature, you're going to turn the oven on to preheat it, right? So you'll turn the oven on, you're going to preheat that. Well, that's essentially what priming is doing for your AI. You are putting in all of that information, preheating it, warming it up, so that when you put the main information in there or your main question in there, then your model is going to give you better results closer to what it is that you're wanting. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So
So
just think
just
of it. I'm sorry, Wendy, was that you?
No.
It was
Oh,
just
I'm
an
sorry.
echo.
Oh, okay. So just basically think of it as you're warming up the model's brain so it's going to give you more of what you want. So it's kind of like warming up to work out, warming up the oven to cook a cake, all of those types of things. Okay. The next, and also then if you talk about shotting, and when you're going to do your shotting, they're talking about how many examples you give the model when asking it to do something. So it's something like a demonstration. You're showing the student how to solve a particular problem. So you're going to demonstrate kind of the steps or what it is that you're trying to get to happen. So you're going to give it just little shots of information, little small demonstrations. So you're going to get, you're going to give it the example. So here are the core components, and you're going to have the background information that frames the interaction. Then you have the examples. So you're illustrating the desired input and output patterns. And then when you're priming it, you're establishing the baseline and understanding the approach of it. Okay. So it's like, just think of it as the triangle, and you're trying to shape the information, um, and you're prepping your model to go ahead and so that it responds or gives you the information that you're wanting a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Glass front door.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, that was my front door.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I thought it said front door, but I said, well, maybe I heard wrong. I'm trying to make sure. Okay. Any questions?
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible for us to get a vocabulary list? Because just like Sharon was looking for their platform a while ago, I
Uh-huh.
think that, if we had an AI vocabulary list so that we become more familiar with the terminology, I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be helpful.
Okay. That would be a Chris question. I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. Sure we can put something together for that. Um, so yeah, we'll make a note of that for Chris or Laura or me. We'll see about getting everything out to you guys. So you just want an AI vocabulary sheet, like a quick reference sheet of different term or the basic fundamental terminology. Is that what you're asking for, Beverly?
Yeah, yes, I think
So I
I think that
understand.
would
Okay.
be really helpful, especially for those of us who are pretty new to this, and
Uh-huh.
particularly the terminology of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically,
Yeah, we have that. I'm looking for it right now.
okay. I thought we did, but I was like, I couldn't remember if we had it in class or not. I remember seeing something. But yeah, that will definitely be something just to kind of so when people are saying things or you're hearing something in class, you'll be familiar with it. That's a great um, ask. So there's something called zero shot learning, and that's when you give no examples, just instructions. So if you were to say that in that shoot in that shot, if you wanted to just write about
Latanya,
yes.
where are you at? What slide?
Oh, I'm still on the other one. I was just kind of giving them a little bit more background of the shot
Okay.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah, will
Um,
you just say next slide for me?
okay. Yes, I will. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're
Um,
good.
so yeah, it's just there, and I'm just sharing that with you just so that you'll understand that there are different types of shotting. So if you're just giving it no example, like solve this math problem without showing them what showing first what the how to solve it. So putting the if you're doing statistics, putting in the particular analysis or what have you you're going to do without framing it. So that's just kind of things to be mindful of, and that's one of those things that you would look at the context for. So you need to make sure that you have that information, and you're giving that to it, because if you don't, then you may not yield the results that you're wanting. Okay, next slide, Chris. So role assignment. We kind of, I think on Tuesday, somebody had asked me and I was talking about, you're going to have it take on a persona. Well, role assignment is kind of similar to that. What you're doing is you are assigning, you're asking your AI to act as if they are. So in this particular case, you would say you are a financial advisor and you're helping with retirement planning. So what you're doing is you're framing the AI perspective there, and you're giving it the knowledge domain, which is you're kind of telling it what frame of thought or where it's going to be thinking, so that it's going to respond according to what it has learned a financial advisor would do. Does that make sense? So if you were doing something like, I'm a teacher, and then, maybe you want to put a little bit more context in there. I'm a third grade teacher, and I am going to be helping come up with a curriculum for the third graders in this particular school system. So that's giving it that frame so that the AI can start to think and know that this is how I'm supposed to be responding as if I were a third grade teacher or a financial advisor. The tone setting. With that, you also want to set
Sharon
the
had a
tone.
question, Tanya.
I'm sorry. Oh, who did?
Oh, yeah.
Sharon.
Oh, yes, yes. Go ahead, Sharon. I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand.
Oh, I couldn't get that other
Oh,
mechanism.
that,
The role assignment, how is that different from our homework we just did where we had to try to make a persona? It sounded the same to me, but is
mhm.
that different?
It's really not, because you're telling it the role assignment is you're telling it to act as if it is a generic, like a third grade teacher or a financial advisor. The persona was you were asking it to take on you were having the conversation with a specific person.
Mm,
So you were saying, I am Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou, or no, I'm sorry, I'm going to interview Dr. Maya Angelou, and I need you to answer as if you were her these questions. So
okay.
you're telling it to take on her persona and respond as if with responses that would be her responses, versus the role is they're not taking on a specific person, they're taking on a role. So it could be a teacher, it could be a nurse, a doctor, it could be a college student, it could be a new mother. So you're asking it to take on that role. Does that make more sense?
Yes.
Okay,
All
good.
right. Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you for asking that question. Tone setting. So when you're setting the tone, you want to tell your AI whether you want it to be casual or friendly. Do you want it to speak professionally? Do you want it to speak like it's speaking to friends? Do you want to use like, for example, when I'm writing certain things or what have you, then I'm not able to use, I need to write in the active voice. So I can't, it's like, make sure it's active. I need the tone to be scholarly and active voice. So I'm setting that tone so that my AI will know how it's supposed to respond and what those responses should look like. So that's very important, especially if you're doing like work. If it's for work, if you're setting up something and you're wanting it to be professional, you want to definitely say, I need this to be professional, as if I were it's like an exec for an executive or something to that nature. So you want to set that tone so that your responses are going to come out in the manner in which you need them to. Okay. Any questions? I'm trying to see here, but my screen doesn't show me everyone. So yeah, just kind of chime in. And then constraint definition. So if you're going to you want it to be within a certain constraint, meaning that you want to limit the answers. So if you were writing a paper in school, and I just happen to be in school, so that's why all my analogies come from there. If I'm doing research, I need all of my research and my resources to be peer reviewed. So I don't want them to give me anything from the New York Times or from, a business um,
Wow.
network or something like that. I need something that has been peer reviewed, that is true to fact. So it's going to establish the boundaries of the information that I want. So I'm not, so that it's not giving me all this other stuff. So it might give me something from AARP, and I'm like, that's not peer reviewed. So I want to make sure that I set those boundaries and say, this is what I need. And the reason, again, that you want to do that stuff is so that you can have your responses tailored to the way that you need them to be. So you're not going back and forth so much with your AI. You're able to just hone it in a little bit without having to get all of what I call the fluff. You put all that fluff in there and you get that set up and established. So then when it's time to prompt, then you already know these are the things that I'm going to get. So you're not getting a whole lot of other stuff that you don't need. Okay. Any questions? Next slide, please, Chris. So the pyramid approach to priming is you're going to start just like a pyramid, and you're going to start with establishing your foundation, which is the bottom. So you're going to set that up, you're going to make sure that it's stable, and then you're going to layer your details. So you're going to add your context and your specific information, and you're going to put all of that. But again, the foundation is going to be the most important part, because if your foundation is not solid, then the rest of the building is not going to work. So once you have your foundation and that's solid with your prompts, and then you're going to add your content and the specific information that you want. And then after you've done that and you are comfortable and that's solid, then you can refine to set those specific expectation and polish it up. So you're going to make it more custom to exactly what it is. So that top refined expectation is where you're going to hone and narrow in what it is that you're actually trying to frame there. So when you're priming it, you're setting all of that up. But in the priming process, if you do not establish that foundation, then the rest of it is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for you. Okay. Next slide, Chris. And that was kind of what I was talking about, the zero shotting. So when it's the most basic approach. You just kind of put your information out there and it works for simple tasks. So if you're asking it something like, what time zone? Yeah. What are the time zones? It'll give you all of the time zones. Um, so you don't have to give it a whole lot of example. You don't have to do anything. You're just asking that one question. A few shot is you're going to give it two examples and 2 to 5. So you're kind of guiding it a little bit more. And that's more of a balanced approach. So you could say something like, if you were looking at time zones, you could say, what are the time zones in the Midwest? So now you've given it in the Midwest, and you could say the cities like, I mean, the states like Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, what time zones do they fall in? So you could give it a little bit more information, and that's going to give you a little bit more of what you're looking for. But it's still one of those basic approaches, and it's balanced a little bit, and it's more use for common everyday things. So if you're wanting to get some customization or customized things, you don't want to necessarily use that. You'll do the mini shot, which is probably going to be some of the things that you guys have been doing as of late, because that's when you're going to give it for complex tasks, specialized output. You're going to give it highly detailed examples. So you are wanting to respond to an email or you're wanting to create an email to the director of a multicultural recreation center. So, and the email is in regards to using the facility to host AI training. So you're very specific and you're saying what it is that you need, and you're wanting to use the facility and you may even throw in there free or minimal cost. and you're just framing that, and you're giving it that shot, those shots of information that you want, but you're putting that in there, and it's going to give you the information that you're needing. You guys have probably been doing some of that with your books, with sharing with you when you were doing your coloring book. You went through the different platforms, and you said, let me see this, or I needed to do this, and you were able to provide multi pieces of information, or provide it with many shots. Does that make sense? You were ahead of the game and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Chris, next slide. And Laura, if you want to.
Okay. Hello. So did anybody have any question or anything regarding what Latanya just went over? Did you want me to show you anything or anything? No? Okay. So just keeping up with or continuing on with the shotting. These are just some examples of what the shotting, how shotting is done. So the first one is just in the subject. These are the things that you would put in there in regards to how in-depth you want your prompts to be. So just kind of looking over those, the examples of those examples for the shotting. And next slide, please, Chris. Okay, the role of context and effective AI prompts. So with the context, again, you want to be in depth. The context grounds AI's response in reality. So background information, for example, like the industry or like the domain, you want to give it that. The audience, who is this prompt going to, who are you prompting this for? Like what Latanya said, sending an email. Are you sending it to an executive? Are you sending it to a friend? Are you sending it to just sending it out as a business email? So you want to make sure that you're setting it up to where the context is for the proper person or for the proper audience. And then the objective and clarity, what is your desired outcome? So just to kind of give you an example, an unprimed onboarding prompt would be just a generic orientation. So orientation is this day. So it would just be just straight to the point of when the orientation is for someone. And then the contextual onboarding prompt could be more tailored to the model of the remote. So if orientation is on this day at this time and this location. So you're just kind of making sure you have all the information in there for the person that is supposed to go to. So they know what everything is. Next slide, please. Again, just a couple of case studies. So if you're writing a training module, which I've created a couple of trainings, and I'll kind of show you guys that within chat, going into a program called Gamma, which creates the slide. And I think we briefly touched on that Tuesday. Chris may have mentioned it, but I'll show you guys a little bit more into that. So again, these are just kind of generics, the unprimed prompt and then the contextual prompt. So write a training module for new hires, just the basics, and then create a remote onboarding module for software engineers joining our AR startup. So you're giving it just that more information in regards to, again, what is going on and who it's for. Any questions? No? Okay, next one, please. Again, just some additional studies like the generic prompts, more of a contextual prompt. Again, you're giving it that information, and then the fully primed prompt. So you're you have your foundation, as Latanya said, and then you have the you're creating your triangle. So then you're building up on that, and then your results, how you want your prompt, what you want your response to be from your prompt, how detailed you want it to be. Next slide, please. And Chris, at any time, if you want to jump in and say anything, you can. Okay, so avoiding the pitfalls with this. So pitfalls are you're under priming. So again, you're not putting enough information in there. Overloading, you're putting too much information in there. And then the context. So you're not explaining who it's going to or who your audience is. So the best practices for that is you want to start with clear objectives. Again, laying the foundation, and then build your prompts layer by layer. Provide your representative examples, and then always include your essential context. So can you think of a time when you gave too much detail and confused the AI? Anybody? No? So do y'all feel like y'all don't use enough information in your prompts, or do you?
Sometimes when I'm asking it to create a model for grading something, and I might give it a little bit too much information. It's like, you're acting as a professor at whatever school, and you are I want you to grade X, and then I might give it an article for background and something else, and then I'm like, then I give it the rubric that I wanted to use and all of that. And sometimes it's better if I separate those two things and not give it too much information at one time, because sometimes it'll come back at me with a pause, and I'm like, duh. Okay. So, all right,
Right.
start this over. Let me start this over. What part did you not understand? But I do try to ask it, does it understand? Do you have any questions? Am I being confusing, or am I being clear, or whatever? And then it tells me back, yes, Dr. K, I understand. This is what you want. This is what I'm going to provide for you. Is this what you're asking me for? So
Okay.
then but sometimes I can't overload it because it's all in my head. I want it out. So,
That is understandable. And again, in the beginning, I didn't give it enough information. I would just type a few things in there, and then it would just keep asking me questions, and I would have to keep responding, and it would ask me more questions. So it's like
oh
I
yeah.
wasn't laying the foundation for everything.
Mhm.
And so, you can not give it enough information, and you can also give it too much information.
I know,
So,
and then that's when I tell it, look, just answer the question. Don't
right.
ask me anymore.
Right. When you put it in there, just answer the question and keep going. Don't ask me anything else. I've had to do that also. Thank you. Anybody else? No. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So as I said, just the best practices for start with the clear, make sure you have exactly what it is you're wanting to ask it, build on that, and then provide the additional information. And then again, just make sure that you're not overloading it, but you're giving it plenty of information to get the response that you're looking for. And you can always just, again, start with the basics, and then you can layer on top of that if it's not giving you the response that you're wanting. Yes, next slide, please. I'm sorry.
Didn't hear those two magic words.
I know, right? My bad. I apologize. Okay. So your core elements, there are 3 core elements. Um, the effective prompting, combined priming, shotting, and context to get your results. This will improve your quality, and then you save 60% of time, 60% more of time giving it the correct information or the additional information with, your foundation and then your context and your refinement. So is that
Hey,
making
Laura.
sense? Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things that I would just throw out there is that the 60% is kind of a industry hype number. We've got some new numbers that from, we've trained almost 500 people now. And what we're
Okay.
finding is it's going to save, just to put it in context, we're finding people can save almost 8 hours a week
Hmm.
Mm.
just by being effective and using AI. So
Okay.
essentially you're getting one day back if you embrace it.
That's good to know.
And by the way, I have been just dying to say something. So appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, okay. Next
Next
slide.
slide.
Next slide. Thank you. So any questions? Any at all? Okay. So everyone's understanding like everything. Again, I know we were kind of like struggling with some stuff in the beginning. So I just want to make sure everyone's like understanding everything. You're still muted.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you. I have a question for Latanya.
Yes.
When you're using AI to help you with your classroom work,
Mm-hmm.
and you're telling it that you want specific types of references,
Yes.
how do you, or do you find that sometimes it'll give you a related reference, but the name and all of that is incorrect?
Yes.
Or the name
Actually,
okay, I
yes.
just want to know if I was doing something wrong.
No,
And,
you were
and
not
then
doing
sometimes I
anything.
ask it for a real reference with a
Mm-hmm.
DOI,
Mm-hmm.
and still sometimes it's like, just stop. Okay. I mean, have you found a way that gives you back real live references that aren't hallucinations?
What I usually do is because it will give me those hallucinogenic references. It's like, what is this? I did not ask for that. But I'll
Mm-hmm.
just kind of say, that's not what I asked for. I
Mm-hmm.
need real relevant references that fit this
Relevant.
criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And I just put it in that framework, or I'll even go as far as to say recent references within the last 5 years,
Okay.
and I need them to be, scholarly reviewed, um,
Mm-hmm.
and just different things like that. But at the end of the day, I always check them.
Check. Yeah.
Yeah, I will click on the links to make sure that they're real. And a couple of times I've even said, because they look so weird, I'll say, "Are these real?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, these are not real. Or it'll go through and give you a check list of the validity of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll tell you that this is close to. And usually what
Okay.
happens when that's the case for me is that it is where it's one of the reviews as opposed to the actual article itself.
Okay.
But if you click on the review, you'll be able to find the actual article you're looking for.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, I haven't
I just
found a
want to be
way,
able to
but
give
yeah,
clearer instructions.
yes,
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I have just a comment if I can.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I've been doing a lot lately is I've been giving it my prompt, and then before I hit enter, the last thing I put in is usually, please review your response and validate that the information is
Mhm.
correct.
Yes.
And that way it goes through and it takes a little bit longer, but it generates the content, and then it goes to check it. So when you're looking for references, you could say, you know, and give me 10 references, da 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 da, make them recent, da 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 da. Before you respond to me, please go out and check your reference, check that the references are valid and provide the links to those references.
Oh, Chris, that's
Mhm.
good. I'm gonna start
You
doing
know, and then
that.
it will come back and it will tell you that. It'll come back and do that for you. And I can't tell you how much time it saved me doing that.
I'm sure. Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Chris, this is your
This
world.
is your world.
We're just here. Okay, so are there anything else? Any other questions? So I guess you could go to the next slide.
Which is
Oh,
what
okay.
questions do you have?
Yeah.
Right.
So you guys are good with all of the different things what have been some of your pain points in doing, for those of you who've had the opportunity to really get in and kind of delve into things with your
Other
book,
than not being able to get in and do some
right?
things.
Or those that have started their books, some of the pain points.
Mhm.
I haven't seen it as a pain point just
Mhm.
yet. I've been running it through and it's been giving me ideas I hadn't thought about.
Oh,
So,
good.
that it has been providing a lot of inspiration more so than pain points
Oh,
so far.
great. Good,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad. I'm glad. And I'm really glad that you had the opportunity, Sharon, to share your experience with using different platforms, because that is really like an aha thing. And it was one of the things that I was like, oh my goodness, wow. Because being able to just switch from platform to platform, but having that prompting foundation, um, and getting the result that I yielded, it's like, oh my goodness. So sometimes I use it every day, at least 6 hours a day, different
Wow.
platforms. And so, yeah, I mean, it's up all the time. And so sometimes I'll put it here and then I'll go over there and I'm like, well, take this and then check that. And, but that was just one of my aha things. So I'm glad yours was a positive experience as well.
Yeah, thanks.
I wasn't here, or I mean, I was like coming from the car, but Sharon, can you tell me which platforms you use?
So I don't know them by heart, but within the NO power, I
Okay.
use the GPT Black GPT, and
Okay.
I was running a prompt off of the list from the samples, the examples,
Mhm.
and I was trying to create a coloring book, and I
Okay.
asked it to put in several pages. Well, I didn't say several. I said a few, but it brought back two. And I was very specific about what I wanted because I wanted to show um, children in a garden. It did that. And then I wanted some to show magnified leaves. And
Mhm.
it did that. It put a magnifying glass there over one set of leaves. And I was like, no, I wanted several pages that represented those things. So
Okay.
I'm still working with that. But the other thing I was doing was I picked another example where it did a black and white sketch, and I wanted to sketch two Shih Tzu puppies in a wicker basket. And when I was prompting it, it was doing like an auto correct on the spelling. So it
Mhm.
would never spell the TZU. It would put TAU. I don't know if that's another dog breed, but it brought back puppies that didn't look like Shih Tzus. So, but it brought back a picture. So I took that same prompt and I put it in the image maker platform
Mhm.
and I put in different information. I made them look like they were in a vineyard, and it brought back exactly what I was expecting.
Oh,
The
okay.
sketch, them being in a wicker basket and being in a vineyard. So,
Okay. And that was image maker. Okay.
so
So,
I
Thank you.
Sharon, do you know why Do you know why ImageMaker works better than ChatGPT?
I thought maybe it was some of the keywords like sketch, and then I put in what do you call it, a ratio? I didn't know. I put a ratio of 9. I didn't know what. I still don't know about sizing, and
Mhm.
just some keywords I thought putting in image maker understood better that it was going to do a drawing and just kind of how things should be. So I don't know if that's correct, but
That's good. Let me expand on that just a minute.
okay.
So we talk a lot. I've talked a lot about we want to narrow our focus. So ChatGPT does everything, right? I mean, it'll generate an image for you. It's got assistance. It's got all this stuff. Sitting behind ImageMaker is is an LLM that is called Flux, and it is specifically trained to do images. So it should work better. You've probably heard its more well-known brother, Midjourney
Okay.
or DALL-E, right? Those are the three things. Those are the three main ones that are out there. There's some others that are out there, but those are the three main ones. And that demonstrates what you just went through, demonstrates why in InnoPower.ai, you'll notice if you go into some of the folders, you'll see things like well, the black GPT, right, is a narrowed focus. There's a couple of other ones in there where they're geared toward business, helping you take your idea to market, those kind of things. We narrow those focuses down in InnoPower. I narrow those down so that you're getting a trained model or a trained tool that's not just everything, but it's narrowed down to a specific focus. And Flux happens to be one of those models, right? It's trained and it knows how to do images.
Okay.
What did you guys train Black GPT on?
Well, I can tell you that I didn't train it. Um, and I say that in all trying to be humorous, right? What we did, Latanya, were you or Lori a part of that?
Laura
I
was.
was.
Mhm.
Laura, why don't you explain how we built that?
So there were like 7 or 8 of us, and we kind of like you guys' assignment. So we had to find or pick a famous person that was deceased, a famous person that was alive, and someone we admired, and I think there was one more. And then we asked it kind of the questions that you guys were like, if you were here today, like what things would you change? Or, just questions. They all answered the same questions. And so then they just kind of took all of those and put it together because we came up with like, I hope some people came up with Malcolm X, some people came up with Dr. Maya Angelou, some track stars, some boxers, some just different. There was like a gamut of people that we came up with for this. And so we put them all together, and then they did some things behind the scenes, and then that's how the Black GPT was
And
developed.
I asked that question because I ran one of the assignments that we did, and I ran it in my GPT-5, and then I ran it in the Black GPT, and only because it didn't have some background information, but the I guess the subjects and everything, they came up the same. And I was like, well, what's the difference? Well, maybe because Kathleen, you Black and you always telling it, I want Black people. I'm in the African American community and I want you to do this. And so I was like, well, maybe, okay. But
Yeah, so we did
it
use
was almost
all.
exactly the same. I found that interesting.
Yeah, because we use all Black people
Yeah.
for our examples and our questions that we asked. And like I said, they just took all of them, put them together, and then um, did it that way behind the scenes and created it.
And
So
if I could say something too, Kathleen, one of the things that because we tried it in one of our classes, remember Laura, and we did the regular Chat GPT, and it was what is a traditional Thanksgiving dinner? Give us
Oh,
a
mhm.
yeah.
menu for a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. So then we did it with the Black GPT,
Oh,
and the
man.
they were different.
Okay. That
And
makes sense.
then somebody even asked, somebody said, where are the KYs and where, so we had to put it in there, and it was interesting, because it came back and it said chitterlings, not the way, but commonly known as chitlins. And they were like, chitterlings, what is that? But that was not part of the original. It didn't come up.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just those types of things. But yeah, that came up in one of our classes, and the person who did it, she was from the South, but I was like, well, I said, well, I don't eat those, and we don't have those in my Thanksgiving dinner, so that's a bias.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of things that you may see different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many times do users have to put something in so that it becomes commonplace when it gives it back? Like, if enough of us hit it with what Thanksgiving dinner should is normally or customary to us, then when will it start registering and giving back that? Or is that something in the way that the API or the code is set up to make that change?
Well, they're taking the chats, right? They're taking each individual chat and they're going through and running it, they're cleansing it, and then they go through and they take that information and use it to train the next one, the next model, the next version. And so and I think I said this earlier, you know, the phrase, I hope you're doing well on an email. Enough people said that now a lot of times it will come back and it will say, I hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So and it's kind of interesting from the standpoint of if you think about it, it's gonna try and homogenize this somewhat, right? Because it's gonna try and give what it hears most, but that may not be something you'd use anymore.
Mm.
Like I don't use I hope you're doing well because Chat GPT gives it to everybody.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this evolves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just asked it plain, what's a traditional thanks my Chat GPT. What's a traditional Thanksgiving dinner? And it gave me the kind of generic. Then I said, what is an African American Thanksgiving dinner? And then it gave me cornbread dressing, not stuffing.
Yeah. Agree.
Collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens. That was
Uh-huh.
not even on the other list,
Yes.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good. That makes me hungry. Because listen, the collard greens and the mustard greens, I don't
Mhm.
get those up here. I lived in Florida for a couple times for 2 years at a spot, and man, I love those. I love those types of food, but don't get them up here much.
Well, next time
So
I cook them, Chris, I'll have to make sure you get some.
I would appreciate that.
Okay.
And then Chris, Denise have put in the chat about the sign-in link.
Yeah, the
There was
Oh,
not
registration.
one in there.
Yeah. Blonde hasn't jumped in yet. Is Blonde in here?
I thought I
Let me
saw
look.
her. Oh,
Yeah, she's there.
yep, she's here.
Blonde,
So
if you're
Denise, you have
listening,
not missed it yet. It's not been put in there.
Okay.
yeah, I'll go ahead and throw it in here. There's another question.
Tiffany hasn't received, she didn't see the email with the homework.
Yeah, okay. Let me get to I know I've got Blonde in here somewhere. Where is
Yeah,
she?
she's here. I see her.
Well, I've got her. She sent me an email.
Okay.
There it is. She's really good at remembering stuff. I'm not so good.
So is everybody using their own chat as well as the InnoPower chat? or are you only using one or the other?
I'm using both.
Okay.
I've used
Oh,
both,
oh,
Okay.
but I like my chat because it already has my voice and yeah, all of that. I've worked
Yeah.
so hard to train it on. So,
Yeah, they actually have some new updates. I don't know if you've seen that. Like you can make your responses, like put them in color, and then it has like different ways that it responds, and
oh,
like, oh, interesting. So
Noticed that today.
okay. I was gonna say I hadn't seen that.
Well, and I tell people this literally, um, you may log in today and tomorrow they've
Mm-hmm.
made major updates. So it's like, okay. So as Chris has probably already told you, it really is evolving that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
other questions? Anybody want to share anything else? No? All right.
So I would like to share if I could. Can I
All right.
share?
Yeah. Yeah, you sure can.
Okay. So this is the where the files are, or the recordings are, where the slides are for the class. Um, and I believe it was Sharon was talking about coloring books.
Yes.
And in this, it'll take a second to come up. Here in this particular slide is under example prompts. There are all kinds of different things you can do, right? So
Mhm.
here's an animal coloring book. If you go do that, you can copy this. There is academic art character sheets, an article about hallucinations. Here's one about what a prompt creator is. Here's a job creation simulator
Mm-hmm.
that you can go through. You run this prompt and it just runs. Um, Here's a coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
now I have
You know,
seen those, and I use the prompt, but I change it.
of
Uh,
course.
and yeah, it's not giving me back. So I was just wondering, can you run one of those like the coloring book? This is
I
these
can send you
prompts.
some because
Oh,
I've been playing around with it quite a bit since I got
okay, good.
granddaughters that are
Yeah.
moving that. I've been playing around with how to do that. So yeah, I'll send you some things.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I use the book reviewer on my book idea.
Mm-hmm.
The because it had the outline and the introduction and all of that. And
Yeah.
then I ran the book reviewer, changed a couple of things, and asked it to review the book, and it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let me show you another place you can go for those of you that are being creative. Promptbase.com. Can you see my screen? Does it say prompt marketplace?
Yes.
You can go here and you can find there's a bazillion different prompts out here. Here's one for here's one,
Mm.
right? I mean, you can just find hundreds and hundreds of things. And when you pay for it, I'll just show you because am I logged in? Yeah. So when you click your purchases, see, I told you I had a few things about prompting or about coloring books. Here you go. Right. So it gives you, when you use it, here's the prompt,
Okay.
right?
Excuse
So
me.
you just fill in the thing. So it gives you that. So if you want to, if you are struggling with creativity, go out here and you can take a look. Most of the prompts are, $2, $3, which, you buy a bunch of them, it gets pretty expensive. But if you're just looking for one thing, might be an option for you.
So if you created something here, like a coloring book, and you wanted to publish it, do you have to like I mean, like copyright, and is this your own stuff?
I
Or
have a question.
I mean, I'm thinking legally now.
Mm-hmm.
Not wanting to get sued, but would this be my
Well,
own creation or what?
prompt, yeah, if you just use the prompt, then it's yours.
Okay.
You're going to tweak it anyway. You're going to add something to it that's going to make it unique.
Okay.
So,
Awesome. Thank you.
I mean, I personally, I would like this one, but pretty fun. But I mean, and depending on what you're looking for, right? I mean, this one is movies. That's new, right? So there's a lot out here that you can find, right? And it tells you which model it works against. Like this is Midjourney. Midjourney for graphics is the high-end graphics. Almost, it's almost like Adobe Illustrator in the Adobe suite, right? It's one of those things that's you can do a lot, but it's pretty complicated, can be complicated. So there's lots and lots of stuff out here. So again, I'll add that link to the resources here. But again, you're gonna, oops, wrong place. Where did that go? I gotta go back. Maybe. Okay. Let me go back and go back to the website. Am I doing on time? Okay. So again, this is become prompt.engineering. You are Northwest Indiana. Who's your AI 1000? You click continue study. And it takes you in, you scroll down. Obviously, I got to fix that. And here is your course. Here is your session recordings. It's going to give you the recording right there. It's going to give you the transcript. And at the bottom is going to be your homework. And right here, I will go in and add, I know a way where I can go in and add a chat window so that you can do it right there.
What, post your homework?
No, you'll be able to go in like this one. This is a bad one. Let me go to another one.
Thank you.
So this particular homework was go to the activities lesson, and click on the book and title outline, submit a document, right? Go to additional resources. I will put and copy them and then run them in InnoPower AI. I will make it so that the homework is right there. So that not only the homework is there, but there'll also be a window there where you can go in and just literally do the homework right there. And that way you don't have to bounce around. It's all right there. It still ends up in the same place.
Okay.
And I'll try to see if hopefully that will make it hopefully that'll make it easier for you.
Yeah, I mean it could, but it was. I guess it wasn't at the end of the 30th one. So I went to the video and I cut and paste the digital assignment. I snipped it and then I saved it and I added it to my question. And then I said, look at this PDF, answer these questions for whoever my person was I picked.
Yeah.
I ain't typing anything.
Good. Okay, ladies. LaTanya,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
back to you.
Okay.
All right.
Do you guys need
Uh,
a little break or anything
sorry.
before we? Okay. Go ahead, Laura.
Okay. So I know you guys said you kind of work in both. Have you guys like attached a document to like Chat GPT? I primarily work in chat. Um, so are you familiar with attaching a document into chat and then like exporting it out?
Sorta.
Why don't you go ahead and share your screen and do it?
Okay.
You've got time.
All right. Let me see. Share. All right.
I'm going to quit sharing.
Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Let me move this over. Hey, well, my little thing is at the top right there. Okay, so this one's kind of like a one that we had done previously, which kind of coincides with what you guys are going to do tonight. But I will go ahead and show you how to attach a document. So this is your chat. So if you go to this plus,
Oh, okay.
click on that,
Mm-hmm.
and then add files, photos,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then it'll take you to your documents. We're just gonna go here. Let's do that one. So
You can add PDFs, you can add Word documents, PowerPoints,
yeah, like pretty
you
much
can add Google,
anything. So I'm just
Google Docs.
so it's just going to review it. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So then again, I think Chris has spoken about Gamma. It's another presentation. So as you can see down here, it says you want to convert it into a slide deck Gamma presentation. And so I'm going to
You
say
have
yes.
Gamma
on this.
attached.
I do.
Okay.
I think.
So this is going to be an impromptu Gamma presentation too.
You know what? No, I don't. But I did connect some stuff today. Hold on, let me see something. Is my Gamma attached? Connected? I connected those things. No. Okay, it doesn't give me the option, but I will. Oops. Oops. Let's get out of there. Okay. Why did it stop?
Maybe in case they don't have it attached, maybe show them the other way.
So you can copy it. And then you can go to Gamma. And a Gamma is just another like presentation platform. I'm not a PowerPoint type of girl.
I am.
So I've created all of these presentations. Some of them have been created. I've just put in create new AI, create new with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do this one.
Once she shows you Gamma, you won't ever go back.
Really? Because I'm a big PowerPoint girl.
Well, and she can show you something for even the PowerPoint girls, because I'm a PowerPoint girl too.
Yes, she is. Okay.
But if you create that in Gamma, and you sent that to someone, will they be able to open that? Because I'm so used to PowerPoint.
Yes, you can.
Oh, because it's a PDF?
It's like a PDF, but I want to say you can even if you, because I have the paid version, but I think I've sent you to you, Latanya.
Yes.
So you can do it because they do have a non-paid version. You may just have to create an account and then you would be able to open it up.
Okay.
So then it lays out your slides for you and then you can just generate it.
Will it make pictures for me?
It will.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
It will not only generate slides for you, but you can also have it generate a book for you. It'll go portrait, it'll go landscape, it will go, you can tell it letter format and it will generate for you.
Okay. I think I've seen my students use it.
And then you can put it in presentation form. Also add notes to it. So like if you're presenting, you can have your presenter notes and have them off to the side and then just have the slide deck that's showing.
Okay.
So yeah, you can also add your own pictures. You don't have to use theirs. You can import your own pictures into that as well.
Okay, I need someone to explain to me what Gamma is.
So are you familiar with PowerPoint?
Yes.
So like a slide presentation, Gamma is just another slide presentation platform.
Oh, okay.
So you can create presentation. It's AI generated platform for presentations. So you can do them from scratch. So if you already have information, you can do them from scratch. Or you can just take the information that you have and put it in there and it will create the slide decks for you.
So can I transfer something from PowerPoint to Gamma and it will?
You can. I have found that it doesn't transfer as well for me, and it could be user error because again, I'm not a PowerPoint baby. So when I've done that, it kind of like separates it. So then you have to kind of put it back together. So I just copy it from like the PowerPoint when it brings it over. I've copied it from the slide deck and then put it in my own slide deck the way that I want it. But there's probably an easier way to do it. Latanya, do you know of an easier way to transfer from PowerPoint to Gamma?
Well, for me, I always do what you just did with the summary. Just kind of, I'll put it into chat and have it summarize it and then just bring it over like this.
Okay.
That just works a little bit better for me.
Yeah. But you can also like import like a Google Doc. You can import a Google Doc into here. So you can import things into here as well.
Right.
So
Word documents.
Yeah, pretty much anything you can import those in there.
Okay.
So I will go back to the main screen. No, yeah, we're gonna stop that. We don't need that anymore.
So can you take one that you've already created, Laura, and just kind of show them how they can, for people who feel more comfortable using platforms that they're more familiar with, like how they can bring it into a Google Doc, a Google slide or a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, hold on, let me see. I did, was it this one? Let me look at this one. It wasn't that one. Sorry. No, I have one in here. Actually, I know where it's at.
So what she's going to do is show you how to put it in, download it so that you can, or export it out so that you can use it in a format that you're more familiar with. Some people use Google Slides. A lot of people use PowerPoint.
Let me see. So with this one, just hit the share button up here. Let me go to export. So then export to a PDF. Oh, I want to export it to a PowerPoint. We're gonna do that one too.
Yes.
My
Because
fault.
you want to show them the how they can take it and still transfer it to a platform that they're more comfortable using until they get comfortable with this.
If this is what you want to use.
I see it's gonna export in 2 ways at the same time, or
Well,
is it gonna die?
It might not, so it's taking a long time. So let me get out of that one. Okay, let me see if it'll do it now. I just hit the first one. I did. Okay.
So your PowerPoint's ready. That was your PDF?
All right.
Was it?
Oh, that's your PDF.
No.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Did I get out? I got out the wrong one. Sorry. You would think I know what I'm doing, but I don't.
And it's like she's forget about
Move a little too fast.
And I get what you, I think Sharon, you asked the question about when you send it to somebody, how they're going to open it. Well, if you're sending this to a client or someone like that, you don't want them to have to open it, go in and create the account or what have you. You want them to just be able to run a show, right?
Right.
When you export it to, save it as PowerPoint. Most people have PowerPoint because most people are running Office or some version
in the business,
in Apple. Yeah. So you can export it as a PowerPoint and they'll be able to open it if they want.
Right. And you'll be able to see it as a PowerPoint.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can edit it and
sorry.
do all the PowerPoint functions and features. So add, have you add things, the animation, whatever it is that you want to add, like you would normally add in a PowerPoint presentation.
So in my capstone, I have to have my students create a presentation where they're actually speaking. Can you do that in Gamma as well? They're presenting the PowerPoint as part of the assignment. So they record their voiceover as into the PowerPoint. Does Gamma do that?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't believe so.
I haven't seen it do that either. And that's the other thing too. That was what really sold me on Gamma. I mean, it's really slick, it's really cool, and I love how it gives you all of this gorgeous stuff. But I just was thinking, how can I get this to other people who don't necessarily have that platform? And again, you want to add music or do recordings and things of that nature. I didn't have that functionality.
But it's nice that you're able to create it, have it created, and then download it as a PowerPoint and then add the PowerPoint stuff to it.
Yes.
That saves you time.
Yes. And it gives you, it does give you more, like how it's nicer and it's formatted different, the graphics, the layout, it gives you more to choose from.
Okay.
The thing is, like some of the other functions and features in your PowerPoint are not available to you. Thank you. Because it doesn't really, PowerPoint can't go through per se and figure out to give you the alternative slides and things of that nature,
Okay. All right.
the other slide layouts.
Okay.
This gets me, for me, I use this a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets me 75 to 80% there fairly
Mm-hmm.
quickly.
Yes.
I don't necessarily like all the way it does its graphics,
Mm-hmm.
but it gets the content and gets it organized,
Yes.
and you can take an entire document and feed it and import it under the AI option, and
Mm-hmm.
it will generate. I mean, I submitted 50 pages and had it boil it down into 8
Mm-hmm.
and create a report for our Hoosier AI 1000. And it's amazing what how much time it saves you. It's not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other thing I would tell you about Gamma is that if you do branded stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then it's worth setting up your own template.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take an existing template and go through and make the colors and things like that the way you want them, choose them. And once you get it set up, then you can literally bring in a PowerPoint. It'll go through and do it for you. You can
Mm-hmm.
say, you can apply your theme against it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And the good thing is, like, I'm sure you guys have heard this a couple of times, but it's to enhance things and make them easier for
Mm-hmm.
you, automate things so you don't have to do as much of the manual stuff, so you can spend more time doing more of the thought processing and things of that
Right.
nature, and in facilitating or what have you. But yeah, it's just, for me, it works really great because I am a PowerPoint girl. Microsoft is my thing. Um, but I like it, like Chris was saying, I can pull that data in or pull that information in and it quickly pulls it together. I don't have to worry about trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to put in this slide, or taking the Word document and trying to put it into PowerPoint and trying to figure out how to get the slides the way I want them. Gamma does that. You can tell it how many slides you want or what have you, and it will generate that and condense it down. And then
Mm-hmm.
you just export it over to PowerPoint, and you have your bells and whistles. For the most part, your recording, you can add your animation and all of that stuff, and then
Yeah.
you can email it out as the slideshow, so that once they click the button on that attachment, it starts playing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the
To
best of
see
both
this
worlds.
saving me a lot of time because every time I teach a class, I edit something in my announcements, and
Mm-hmm.
I usually make a weekly video that goes with the announcements, and I could
Okay.
just say do one thing, put
Mm-hmm.
it in there, then all I have to do is talk. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
It's really slick.
Kathleen, I need to show you HeyGen and Synthesia, and there's a couple tools I use all the time
Mm-hmm.
that are fantastic for video generation. You create your own voice, clone your own voice. So you literally could copy and paste it and generate, and you're done.
Okay. How about that?
I am all about being lazy.
I know this real. It's like it allows me to do the 59,000 things that I do every day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a
So did
day.
anybody have any other questions for us or
Excuse me.
Chris?
I am working on the glossary, and I will have it. I'm going to keep working on it until I get it done tonight. So it will come out pretty quick. It will be a PDF, and then I will put it inside of become prompt.engineering. I will put it in there so that you have it. What questions do you have?
Thank you all.
Did you say something, Denise? I saw you came off mute. Sorry.
So I have a question. This is not related to what we've talked about tonight, but I've noticed, is it customary now when people create agents to give them female names? I mean, have you noticed that? And
Yes.
what is that about?
I know for me, I'd rather listen to a pleasant female voice than a grumpy old man like me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. You could go down a rabbit hole and yeah, you could go down a rabbit hole and try and figure that out. I don't know.
So today, well, I'm out here in the DC area. The Washington DC government has created an agent called Celeste, and I'm sure you have to be a DC resident, but they've created this agent so you can go in there and look for uh, ways to get retrained and jobs that are outside of government. And it's just weird because I'm starting to hear, and how do you share an agent with the world? Or do you put security on it? I mean, what is that? How I didn't even go check myself, but how do you share that with the world other than get on TV and say there's an agent called Celeste out there? How do you look for other agents that have been created by other people that you might find helpful to yourself?
That I'll go ahead and give my partners a chance first.
Latanya.
You notice how nobody wants to answer that question?
Okay, yeah, I'm like, okay. Yeah, you're asking because you asked two questions. The female voice, as Chris said, a lot of times studies have shown that people tend to be more comfortable with um, the female voice. Don't ask me why, like Alexa, um, Siri, most of those are female voices. Um, I don't know who decided that. I don't know what study or data where that came from, but yeah, that part I do because I was doing something in one of my statistics classes in my statistics class, and that it was kind of talking about like gender biases and stuff like that, and doing some studies on that. But so I think that may be why the female voice it tends to be a little more soothing and is what they said and all of that. But I think maybe a man came up with that idea. No,
That's what I was gonna say.
no, I'm just joking. I'm
Because
just
I had to
joking.
change my Alexa to a male voice because she was
Yeah.
getting on my nerves.
Yeah, so with that, but as far as the agent, I am still researching that because there are a couple of uh, ideas that I have
Mhm.
for agents that I'd like to share out.
Mm.
But I know that there's a lot of back end stuff that happens, and I'm not real good with that programming stuff in the back. So
So
I'll
is that to protect your, I guess, intellectual property back
well,
and stuff?
that part, and then the back end of like getting the platform so that you can share it out and
Oh,
hosting it and all of that stuff. That's not my wheelhouse. I know enough to say what I want, but I have no interest in doing that.
Oh,
So
okay.
I will let Chris, who is the expert on that back end stuff too, he can answer that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think the best way to share things is and to find them is just put them, it's how would you find anything else, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to find I had bruschetta for dinner. So if you wanted to find a recipe on bruschetta, what would you do? You'd Google it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
think that's what you would focus on for right now. You'd focus on in terms of your agents. Um, is focus on improving your SEO. Now, there's a whole world out there that's starting to evolve that is really, really exciting to me, and I'd love to dig into it, but I don't have time. And that is, how do you get your content into an LLM so when somebody Googles, yours is chosen and cited? And that's a whole different world. There's for some of you that are technical, you know that there's a file on every website that's, on most websites, that's robots, robots dot txt, right? And that tells the robots or the web crawlers what you want to be indexed and what you don't. There's a new one out there, and I believe it's llm.txt, that tells the crawlers from the large language models what you want indexed and what you don't. How you get that recognition, I don't know. And I think we're still figuring it out. I've gone out and said, I'm not who is Chris Daly, right? Because I come up first on LinkedIn, right? If you come up Christopher Daly or Chris Daly, I come up in the top 3, usually number 1. But when you go to Google and do it, there's a comedian out there that comes up. And so, and a couple other people. So I haven't really spent any time doing that, but I'm intrigued by it. You might try it. Who is Sharon James?
Oh, don't try that. Try to stay off of social media.
Well, but I mean, I'm saying stay off of social media. I agree with that. But go into ChatGPT and ask it, who is Sharon James? And see what comes back. Most of us have Googled ourselves, right? To see if there's anything out there on us. You might do the same thing in chat in one of the large language models to find out, what's it say? What's it say about me?
Okay.
You might say, who is Chris? I might say, who is Chris Daly from Indiana, and see what comes up, right? You figure out what you're just understand what it's doing. But then going forward, we're going to have a whole new reset, I think, in terms of how do you get your stuff into a large language model so that you are selected and you get referenced and turn it into money. How do you get traffic? It's a whole thing going on right now that people are talking about. At least the marketing people that I follow and am interested in, that's what they're talking about.
I have an unrelated question.
You're not allowed to ask any unrelated questions. I'm kidding, of course.
I write a lot of research papers and documents, and if I'm using AI as a source for information in those reports or documents, do I have to cite the fact that I'm using AI, or do I cite the references that I get through AI, or both?
I can answer that.
Huh?
I am actually in the doctoral program at Indiana Wesleyan. So you want to cite, unless you take something specifically from an AI
do your
tool.
microphone again. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
now we can.
So unless you take something directly from, like, quote it directly from like one of the GPTs or something of that nature, then you would quote that you used it from AI. But if you have an actual reference and you use that particular reference, you need to quote that reference because that is where the real information came from. It was just a matter of AI did the legwork. Like when you went to the library back in the day, you go in, you
Right.
pick out the book. Well, it would be no different if the librarian went and got the book for you and you just picked it up, but you have to go through it and get the information. So you want to cite that particular site unless you like have AI write something specific for you.
Okay, I didn't know if I had to say that I used AI in order to get that information or exactly what the protocol is nowadays.
No, no, it's not. You're not plagiarizing or anything unless you have AI write it and then you use that verbatim, because I use AI a lot of times to edit my papers, to make sure that there is, it's like I said, it's APA formatted, that it's in active voice, so on and so forth. But I also use Grammarly to make sure that the syntax and all of that is correct. I don't have to quote or necessarily. I had one professor that wanted, when we used Grammarly, she wanted to see the Grammarly report, so we had to give her that. But most of the other professors say it's no different than if you use spell check in Word or anything like that, because you're not, I mean, that's just a tool to you. Like, if you use a dictionary to check your words, it's, you don't have to quote that. So did I answer it?
Okay. Yeah, you answered it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know what's interesting, and we're going to talk. The next session is going to be on data ethics, privacy, bias, all that. We're going to spend some time on that. And what's interesting to me is that I view it a little differently. Um, I view it as though AI is coming alongside me
Mm-hmm.
and is really a part of me as a tool. It's not in front of me. So I personally do not say this came from AI. I say this was, AI assisted me with this, or AI, some of these concepts were flushed out with AI. I would not, I don't know why they would have you quote AI if you copy it. If you copy a paragraph and they're going to really ask you to credit AI for that.
If you copy and paste it verbatim, then yeah, because the thought is you did not, that's not your writing. So from a scholarly perspective, they're saying you didn't write it, but when you write it and put it into AI and have them fix it or make sure that it's correct or give you feedback on it, then it's your original thought. So you don't have to credit it. But if you just say, I need a paragraph on XYZ, da 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 da, about this, and it gives it all to you, then that's not your original work. You're just telling it what you want. So they
So
looking
I
at
could,
it, it's like your granddaughter has to write a paper, and she says, "Papa or Granddad, can you write this for me?" And then she takes it to school, and boom, it's not her work.
They don't want you to just copy,
Yeah, they want to make sure that you are
that you
analyzing
learn
the stuff.
something.
Yeah,
I know it's crazy, but that's
it
I,
is.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm,
that
you
will,
know,
I think that will go away the more
Mhm.
we move, forward.
Mhm.
But for right now, we don't know how to handle this generation, as the Gen X millennial who's doing this. In
Mhm.
the future, it's not gonna matter for them because they've all learned the code and they've all learned to use prompts and they've all learned to do that. So now in the future, an assignment will go, okay, do X, generate a prompt, da 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 da. I want you to produce this and I want to see your output. That lets me know that you have learned what you need to do to generate that information.
Mhm.
That's it.
so let me, did they do this with Google?
No.
Mhm.
Did
Google,
they do this when, did they do this when we moved away from typewriters to word processors? I
when
mean,
we,
I hate to be flip about
I
it,
know
but
what you're saying.
I do
but
too.
you know, the fact you're still directing it,
Mhm.
right? You're
Yes.
still going in and telling it what to do. And the
Mhm.
fact that they're focusing and they want you to write every specific word is,
But that's
I mean,
not how I, as an individual instructor, grade somebody's paper. Because if you put in bad prompts and if you put garbage in, you're gonna get garbage back.
Yeah.
And I'm
There you
gonna
go.
grade you based on that garbage that you sent to me and wasted my time.
So is that why they have an issue with like high school students? They run it through a plagiarizing
Yeah.
system to see if they've used AI to
Yes.
create their papers.
Yes.
Well, even before that, it's back to the, you can't use somebody else's words that have already been in the zeitgeist and call them your own. You have to give them credit for the work that they've done.
Yes.
So does the artist have to credit every single person every single painting they've seen in a museum when that goes in and it comes back out? That's what's, I
But
mean, I
if he
get the,
describes his art, and then I was influenced by Picasso's Lady on the Whoever in Blue, and that would be what I would say I would be looking for from an artist.
yeah, I think I think this is going to be a very interesting
It
period
is going to be.
because I think that we're gonna, and maybe next week, maybe on Tuesday, I can talk real quick about the innovation curve and adoption. But I think I think there's going to be some people that are going to struggle
Yeah.
on how to live in this environment, this new environment that we're moving into, and those folks are probably they're either going to have to adapt or they're going to have to find a new job because
Yeah.
things are changing.
That happens. I mean,
Sorry, I've dominated the conversation. I'll shut up.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just want to be respectful of everybody's time.
yeah, that's not fine. I did.
And the link for the to register for the class is now in the chat.
Yes.
She's put it in there if you guys didn't see it.
So
Go ahead, Sharon.
I said, so do we have homework?
You do.
Okay.
You do. Of course you do. I'm not gonna let you off that easy. It is there. The state of Indiana has I'm trying to find where Mentimeter is so I can show it real quick. The state of Indiana has some free data available. And I'm gonna have to go back into Mentimeter. It's really, it's really cool, right? But it's really a problem because to sort through it all and figure out exactly what data you have and what do you do with it is a bit of a problem. And so what I'm asking you to do is I am asking you to go in and I'm almost there. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that question. I was too busy rambling on. Where is it? Come on. There it goes. Okay. So what the data that's available in the state of Indiana is there's some data on violence, there's data on vaccinations, there's all kinds of free data that's available at in.gov. And what I'd like for you, and I've mentioned that I took 40 pages this morning and converted it into a 10 page or 10 slide PowerPoint deck that's a program document report for our program. And I did that using the data that's available. And in the past, we haven't had this luxury of having this tool that would allow us to be able to do that. So I'm going to email you. I'm going to finish up the glossary and then I'm going to email it to you along with the worksheet. I spelled worksheet wrong. I'm going to mail you a PDF with 2 different worksheets on it. And what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to read both of them, pick one, go out to the Indiana, and in there it tells you, it's got the link in there for the Indiana website for that particular data. So it's got vaccination and gun violence. And I'd like for you to use the worksheet and use that data and put it into Chat GPT or put it into InnoPower.ai and just take a spin around the data. Try to understand, ask it what is this? I always start out with what is this? And it comes back and it tells me what it is, right? So you can ask it things like, are there any interesting trends that you might find? Based on the data, what should I look for in this data that might be interesting? Right? And just go in and query the data. I'm not looking for you to be able to get a give a dissertation or anything like that on the data. Just want you to go in and practice asking some simple questions. And what's really powerful about this while I'm on my soapbox is this tool, in some ways, is the poor man's Power BI, because you don't have to be a Power BI or any other kind of Tableau. You don't have to be a statistical expert to take this data in that's in various forms, right? There's graphics and there's text and there's charts. You can take that data and you can have it summarize for you. You can have it regurgitate for you. You can have it do a PowerPoint for you. So it's very powerful to be able to do this. And it's a great way if you've got grants coming up or RFPs, you can take an RFP and put it in and import it into InnoPower.ai or ChatGPT. You can import it in and start asking it questions. What are the requirements? What are the things that I need to worry about? You can upload your program documents if you've got programs and say, okay, based on my program, how successful do you think I would be applying for this grant? And if I'm not successful, what do I need to do to change my response or change my program to be able to fit in this grant? Right? You can take this tool using this simple technique. You can go out and find other successful grants, and you can pull 3 or 4 of them in and have it create a rubric. Right? All of us that are educators know what a rubric is, right? It's how you're grading it. You can create a rubric before you start and then have it go in and evaluate 4 or 5 RFPs and then evaluate yours and tell you where your gaps are or what you need to do to improve. Right? So it's this technique, this technique is worth the price of admission for this class, right? In my opinion, it's just one of the most valuable things that you could do. And so I'd like for you to give this a shot. Right? I am not looking, I don't care if you completely fill out the worksheet or not. I don't care. What I do care about is, are you trying to do it? Have you did you find some things with it? And is it, and then be prepared on Tuesday to talk about, how might I use this in my job? Or how might I use this in my side hustle? Or how might I use this in my charity that that I'm participating in, or in the mission that I'm undertaking, or at my church, or at my kid's school, or whatever, right? It's a very valuable technique. So I'd like for you to do that. And I will email this, the PDF with the 2 different worksheets in the same PDF. I will give you the links to where the class material, the slides, and the homework and the summary will be, and I will give you the glossary. And I will also include my link to schedule me for the one-on-one sessions. And I'll include the ICS, what do you call that? The file that you send that's got the invitation for the office hours, just to make sure everybody's got it. So Fire away. What questions do you have?
I will be happy to get all of that. I hope I get all of that because that sounds like everything I need.
Well, again, Beverly, I appreciate you. I mean, some of this stuff I'm doing in response to what you started this at the beginning of class, right? The conversation that you kind of kicked off. So thank you for that, right? Let's keep trying to improve this. At the end of the day, we want to get you through this. We want you to become proficient at using AI. And by the way,
so
do what?
It's
Sorry?
important to me. I would like to become a master trainer, so getting the fundamentals is quite important to me.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is and I know I'm way over here, but what's interesting to me is we have a young lady in our class, Nicole Woods, who is probably shouldn't have called her out, but anyway, she is a former bus driver who is started her own mission, and I've got her card here somewhere. She started her own business growing vegetables and feeding the community. And she's got a not-for-profit she does with that. And she struggled with this, but it ultimately, because she stuck with it, she advanced her own skills. She not only got good at AI, but she also improved her digital literacy skills. And I'm waiting for the phone to ring because it's kind of the end of the season for vegetables and growing things, and she's going to be hitting me up because she's going to have a whole bunch of stuff. But by jumping into this, bravely jumping into this, you're going to improve all your skills, right? Your critical thinking, your communication skills, your digital literacy skills, your AI skills. It's going to be it really helps move you forward, I think. And so I'm looking forward to it.
I
And
have to piggyback off of that because I've worked with Nicole several times, and she was kind of like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and she's gained a lot from it. Like, I was helping her with her book, and so she started understanding how she could import things and all of that. So, and then just the people that we had in our class previously, again, the seasoned ones have really, they were like, this is very eye opening, and they could do a whole lot more. So hopefully it'll help you guys as much as it has helped them. And it helped me a lot because a lot of stuff I didn't really know. I was just playing. So, but now I understand it a whole lot more.
I may have you, Laura, give me a recording. I may get a screen capture or get you saying that, right? Because I think it's important. And by the way, the Master Trainer series is going to start in I want to say it's going to start third week of October. And if you're interested in that, you won't have to sit through the entire 24 hours. There'll be a few sessions you have to sit through for the AI. And then those of you that are educators, you get a pass on sitting through the how you teach or train. Those of you that aren't, you'll have to sit through the 24 hours of training. But and then once you're done, you train 20 people and you take the certification test and you're good. Right? We add you to our website. You can now go out and use our material. We promote you as much as we can. So
That's a really good
I
class as
am
well.
very interested in bringing it to our community and to a lot of people who I work with as a consultant. I think it would be very helpful for you to have a skill.
yeah. Well, it's also going to be helpful for you, right? To be able to stay current. I mean, that's the big thing right now is how do you stay current with the changing technology and stay relevant? So, okay.
Right,
I
because
appreciate. Go ahead. Did somebody say something?
She was getting ready to talk. I think she got kicked off.
Yeah, she put in chat that she had a lot of her Zoom kept going in and out.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah, that's what just happened. It just went in and out in the middle of what I was saying. I still teach as well as being a consultant for other agencies and entrepreneurs. And so I can see this being extremely helpful to me. And my brain is just doing 100 miles per hour as far as the advantages that having the skill are going to make for me.
Yep. Good. Well, I'm going to be excited. I'm excited to see what happens with you and how you use it, because that's the good part about it, is those of you that, teach. The good part is being able to just sit back and watch people go, right? And just say, huh, I didn't know they could do that, right? But they do it. A lot of it is they already have the capability. You just have to give them a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of support and some encouragement and get out of the way. So, anybody else have anything before we?
There's a couple people added their email into the chat, like an additional email. I don't know if you had seen that or not.
No, I'm going here. Yep. Okay.
And if you haven't looked in the chat, please look so you can sign the registration, the attendance sheet. There's a link there.
You need to quit that meek and mild thing, right? And get that mic up to get it up to your mouth.
It keeps sliding down. I don't know what is going on with it. I think it's my ears not holding it up like it should. If you haven't had the opportunity, please be sure and check the chat to make sure that you can click the link to sign the attendance sheet.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I'm gonna get a new one of these things because this one's not working like it should.
No. And Jackie, I like your avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, if
Okay.
you were saying something, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Yep, you're still muted.
You're still muted.
Okay, sorry about that. You know what? I don't think I signed any of the previous attendance sheets. I've been present, I just did not sign. So what should I do about that?
I am going to ask Blonde to send me all the links and I'll send those out so you can get caught up.
Okay, I apologize for that.
Yeah, no worries. It happens every class. It is not, I don't focus on that. I focus on, try to focus on helping. And so I skip it all the time. If you talk to Blonde, she'll tell you that I do this stuff I screw this up all the time. So. She's just too
I've
nice
been
to
here
not
every
tell me.
week as well, and was unable for 2 weeks to even sign in at all because I was just getting kicked out of the registration form.
Yep. Well, we're working on that too.
One more thing real fast. Last week, I'm sorry, on Tuesday when we met, was he the creator? I'm sorry, I forgot his name. He asked me a question. We were talking about the 501c3, the hybrid, and he told me he was gonna, I have my prompt and I have what the output. So should I just send you what my prompt was and what the what part of the output was? how it responded to my prompt so that he could see that. He wanted me to give it to him this week, I guess. I don't know. Today.
I just put his email in the chat. His name is Emil.
Mhm.
Okay. I see it. Got it.
And he will call you and he'll talk to you. He loves to talk. And he's really good. He's really good at it too. I mean, he's really good at what he does. I'm blessed to be able to work with him.
Okay. One other dumb question. Okay, I'm on the chat. Is there an actual sign-in sheet, or am I just putting my name here? What is I'm looking?
If you scroll back up,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see at
Oops.
916 Blonley, just put the link in, says, please don't forget to use the attendance register link.
Okay.
If you click that, it'll take you to a Google form.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I got it. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay.
You just put it back in there too.
Okay. So with that, we'll end the call. If anybody wants to stay in and stay here and troubleshoot your problems, I'm willing to do that. So with that, we'll go ahead and end. I'll stop the recording.
Good night.
Good night.
Well,
Good night.
thank
See
you,
guys on
everybody.
Thank you,
See you guys
everyone.
on Tuesday.
Thanks. Yep. See you
Yep.
Tuesday.
Good night,